Japan is one of the most homogeneous societies on Earth. For centuries, it has been shaped by a culture that prizes unity, conformity, and tradition above almost everything else. Foreigners are welcomed as visitors, but rarely as equals. And the idea of a black family rising from the streets of Osaka to become the most powerful family connected to that nation? It was never supposed to happen. And yet, between 2019 and 2025, Naomi Osaka earned $230 million, of which roughly $25 million came from on-court winnings. $230 million. From a country that once told her family they didn't belong. This is the story of the Osaka family, Naomi, her Haitian father Leonard, her Japanese mother Tamaki, and the daughter Naomi is now raising, and why the most powerful black family in Japan built something that goes far, far beyond tennis. Act 1. The love story. That started it all before there was a $120 million net worth, before there were Grand Slam trophies and Louis Vuitton campaigns and media companies backed by LeBron James. There was a love story that the world tried to stop. Naomi's parents met in Sapporo in the 1990s, defying cultural norms in Japan, where Tamaki's family initially disapproved of her relationship with a non-Japanese man. Leonard Francois was a young Haitian man visiting Hokkaido. Tamaki Osaka was a Japanese woman from a family that held deeply traditional values. They fell in love. And Japan pushed back hard. They used to date secretly for many years, as in that part of Japan, there was the belief of keeping Japan pure from foreigners. Tamaki was estranged by her family for more than 10 years until 2006. 10 years. Estranged from her own family for loving a black man from Haiti. They stayed together anyway. They moved to Osaka. They had 2 daughters, Mari and then Naomi. And when Japan's recession deepened the struggle, they packed everything they had and moved to New York to give their girls a chance. Most families would have crumbled under that weight. The Osaka family turned it into a foundation. Act 2. The father who built a champion. Here is the part of Naomi Osaka's story that never gets enough credit. Her father, Leonard Francois, had never played professional tennis a day in his life. He had no coaching credentials, no academy training, no connections inside the sport. What he had was a vision and a willingness to do something audacious. Inspired by Richard Williams, the father of Venus and Serena, Leonard Francois coached Naomi and her sister Mari. Despite having no prior tennis experience himself, he used instructional videos and public court practice to train his daughters. He watched Richard Williams raise 2 of the greatest tennis players in history from Compton, California, and he said, "I can do that." The family's decision for Naomi to represent Japan, despite her dual US-Japanese citizenship, reflected their pride in her birthplace and heritage. Tamaki said, "She was born in Osaka and was brought up in a household of Japanese and Haitian culture." Japan was not a brand strategy for this family. For both daughters, it was home, the culture they were raised in, the identity they claimed as their own. So that was our only rationale. A Haitian father, a Japanese mother. 2 daughters trained on public courts in Florida. One of them would grow up to become not just the best tennis player in Japan, but one of the most powerful athletes on the planet. Leonard Francois had no business coaching a world number 1. He coached one anyway. Act 3. The breakthrough. When Japan saw what it had. September 8, 2018, the US Open Final. Naomi Osaka, 20 years old, born in Japan, raised in Florida, trained by a Haitian father, who learned from instructional videos, stepped onto the court at Arthur Ashe Stadium to face her idol, Serena Williams. Her breakthrough came in 2018 when she won her first Grand Slam at the US Open, defeating Serena Williams and becoming the first Japanese player to win a Grand Slam singles title. The match was chaotic. There were penalties. There were tears. There was controversy that overshadowed the moment. But the result was undeniable. A black girl from a bicultural family, the girl Japan had once pushed away, had just become the greatest tennis player her country had ever produced. Japan woke up. Japanese corporations quickly saw her potential. She was backed early by Nissan Foods, Wow Wow, and ANA, All Nippon Airways. This support from Japan not only boosted her financial success, but cemented her status as a national icon. The same country whose culture had once rejected her mother for marrying a black man was now putting its biggest brands behind the biracial daughter born from that union. That is not just athletic success. That is poetic justice at a national scale. Act 4. The Empire. $230 million and counting, 4 Grand Slam titles, 2 US Opens, 2 Australian Opens, a former world #1 ranking, the first Asian player to reach the top of the WTA singles rankings. The trophies are extraordinary, but the business empire Naomi Osaka has built around them is what makes her family's power truly staggering. What separates Osaka from most athlete brand partners is that she has not stopped at endorsements. She has systematically built out a portfolio of businesses that give her ownership, equity, and creative control in a way that most celebrities, let alone athletes, rarely achieve. Her endorsement partners include Nike, Louis Vuitton, Tag Heuer, Beats by Dre, MasterCard, Nissan, Panasonic, and Nissan. Nike, Louis Vuitton, Nissan, Panasonic, the most iconic American sportswear brand, the most prestigious French luxury house, the most recognizable Japanese automaker. She sits at the intersection of all 3 cultures she was born into, and every major brand in the world wants to be there with her. She ranked as the world's highest-paid female athlete in both 2020 and 2021, pulling in a reported $57.3 million in endorsements and prize money in 2021 alone, with over 90% of that coming from off-court partnerships, 90% from off the court. The tennis was the stage, the business is the empire. Act 5. Hana Kuma, the media company that changes everything. In 2022, Naomi Osaka did something that no female athlete of her generation had done before. She launched a media company. Alongside her longtime agent and business partner Stuart Dugwood, Hana Kuma launched in partnership with LeBron James and Maverick Carter's Spring Hill Company. With the company's name tied to Osaka's Japanese roots, it aims to produce stories that are culturally specific but universal to all audiences, playful and bold in its approach to tackle important issues of society. Hana Kuma. In Japanese, Hana means flower, and Kuma means bear, a name that blends delicacy with strength, the perfect metaphor for a woman who has spent her entire career being underestimated. Hana Kuma spun out on its own with a $5 million seed round that included Spring Hill, Epic Games, Japanese conglomerate Kinoshita Group, and Fenway Sports Group. Epic Games, Fenway Sports Group, a Japanese conglomerate. LeBron James. Naomi Osaka's media company is backed by some of the most powerful institutions in global sports and entertainment, and it is focused specifically on telling the stories of people who look like her family. Stories that cross cultural lines, stories that Japan, Haiti, and America all share a claim to. Osaka said, "I come from Japan and Haiti, and of course America too, and I have a very different heritage and upbringing than a lot of different people. And I know that there's a lot of other people that are like me, and just trying to utilize that. I'm just telling the stories that I think are interesting, and I think that people would want to hear." Act 6. Kinla Evolve and the full blueprint. Hana Kuma is not the only business Naomi Osaka has built. Her first major entrepreneurial move was launching Kinlo, a skincare brand formulated specifically for people with darker skin tones. The brand's name reflects her bicultural identity directly. Kin means gold in Japanese, and lo means gold in Haitian Creole. Osaka said, "For me, this project is something that requires more than just being a spokesperson. This is a public health need. A skincare line where the name itself is a love letter to both sides of her identity, Japanese and Haitian gold, combined." And then there is Evolve, her sports management agency, built to represent athletes who navigate the same complex worlds she has. Her business ventures include her media company Hanakuma and sports agency Evolve, part of a financial journey that reflects both her sporting success and her ability to leverage her personal brand far beyond the tennis court. Tennis player, media mogul, brand founder, sports agent, mental health advocate, mother. This is not the career of an athlete who happened to get rich. This is the architecture of a dynasty. Act 7. Shy and the next generation. And then there is the chapter that is only just beginning. In July 2023, Naomi Osaka became a mother. Her daughter's name is Shy. Shy is being raised by a woman who was born in Osaka, Japan, to a Haitian father and a Japanese mother, who moved to New York at 3, trained on public courts in Florida, and became the highest-paid female athlete in history. She is the 4th generation of an extraordinary family story. A grandfather from Haiti who fell in love with a woman Japan told him he couldn't have. A grandmother who chose that love over her own family for a decade. A father who coached world champions from videos on a screen. A mother who earned $230 million by refusing to be defined by any single culture, country, or expectation. Naomi Osaka has said, "Japanese culture, I love everything about it. And Haiti, if you've ever met a Haitian person, they are really positive. And literally, if you're friends with them, they will do anything for you. That's something that is a really good trait. And I'm really happy that my grandparents and my dad's side of the family is like that." That is not just gratitude. That is a woman who has figured out exactly who she is, Japanese and Haitian and American and global, and turned that identity into the most powerful personal brand in women's sports. Shay will grow up inheriting all of it. The trophies, the media company, the endorsement empire, the skincare brand, the sports agency, the $120 million net worth and climbing. But most importantly, she will grow up knowing the full story of a Haitian man who walked into Hokkaido and fell in love, of a Japanese woman who chose that love even when her family said no, of 2 daughters trained on public courts with nothing but a father's vision and a mother's belief, and of the country that once pushed this family away, that eventually put their daughter's face on every billboard, every can of instant noodles, every luxury watch campaign, every car commercial that ran across its television screens. The richest black family in Japan didn't break into Japan's world. They built their own world, and Japan came to them.